Hi, jewells68 here for Talk to Me Tuesday on Tuesday, December 2nd. So, you'll see I'm not wearing my robe today, and that's because I'm wearing my project over the 4-day weekend that I had this past week. I decided, thanks to the inspiration from Snowy44 and from Susie, is that your name? Sue. So 25. That they've been knitting sweaters, and I decided, I haven't picked up my knitting needles in a really long time, like, 1 to 2 years. I haven't knit anything. So I think it's time to pick up my knitting needles and knit a sweater. So I looked for a pattern. And I picked up this yarn at Joann's on sale. If you notice the camera going like this, it's because Pouncy's decided to claim it as her own and rubber face all over the box that it's sitting on. Hey, stop doing that. So I found a pattern and started knitting away, and it was one that is knitted in, you knit the front and back separate and the sleeves separate. All of them knit flat, and then you sew them together. I just don't understand why anyone would ever do that. And maybe it's because my first experience, I've only made 3 sweaters in my knitting experience, and all of them were knit in the round. One of them was knit bottom up in the round, and it was a tank top. It was a tank top, because Phoebe still has it. And one of them was made out of cotton, and 2 of them were top-down seamless sweaters, both patterns that I found on Ravelry, I believe. And yeah, so and both of those came out fine, but one of them was too small, one of them was too big. And because I'm too lazy to take it off and try it while I'm like working down, and anyway, it was one of those. So anyway, started making this sweater. I knit the front, I knit the back. I sewed them together at the shoulders just to kind of see. It was already going to be too small, I could tell. And the more I thought about having a seam all the way up here and a seam all the way up here, I was like, no, that's not going to work for me, especially out of this chunky yarn. Maybe if it were, sock yarn, something really fine, but I was just like, nah, that's not going to work for me. So I frogged that Friday morning and started this one. And I basically got from the neckline all the way to where I split off for the armholes on Friday. So it was that quick. Now, here's the deal. The pattern, I love this pattern, I have to tell you. It's called Vanille, and I'll put a link in the in my post. But I got it on Ravelry. Blue Alvarez, I think, is the designer, and I love it. This was like the easiest sweater out of all 4 that I've ever made. Or this would be the 5th one, I guess, even though I frogged the other one. However, it was written for worsted weight yarn, and it was actually designed for like a cotton or cotton silk blend. What I decided to do was, since this was a super bulky yarn, I decided to use, instead of, size 8 needles and worsted weight yarn, I used size 11 needles and super bulky yarn, and I made the extra small that was in the pattern. And actually, size-wise, I would say if they had had one size smaller, it would be perfect. The sweater itself and the way it's constructed, I love. I don't think I will wear it. Because honestly, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'm trying to decide right now whether I'm going to knit the sleeves or not. I may frog it and turn this yarn into something else, because I love this yarn and I love the pattern. And I think maybe I just need to knit the pattern out of what it's supposed to be knit out of, which is worsted weight yarn. So that being said, we'll see. Like I said, I'm still in the decision phase. I finished the sweater last night. Well, I finished the body of the sweater last night. And it's a little long. I followed the instructions, and I'm short, so I probably should have not gone quite as long. But I did put it on waste yarn and check to see where I was, and decided, oh, I'll add a few more inches, and I probably shouldn't have added a few more inches. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But anyway, I love the raglan sleeves. You know, I really love the way the whole thing is designed, and it was super, super easy. But I hate the neck. I think I would love the neck if it were the right size needles and the right size yarn. It's just that out of this chunky yarn, it just doesn't work very well. So I think I'm probably going to frog this and knit this up. I might even get my nifty knitter loom down and knit this into a big cat bowl for Pouncy, because she loves to burrow, and I think she would love to have something made out of this yarn that she could go into, in like a little kitty cave or something that she could go into and sleep. So we will see. What else? Birthday blocks. We're getting to the end of the year, and my birthday and hardhatcat's birthdays were in October, and I still have blocks trickling in for that. And I just got a package from hardhatcat with my birthday blocks in it, and I will show you those right here. So she sent me 3 because one of them she wasn't happy with, and she had cut a bunch of squares, or had a bunch of squares to work with, so she made an extra one. But so here's one, and they pretty much all have the same, almost the same fabrics, but they're just arranged differently. So we have that, and we have that. I love them. You know, it's going to be so much fun putting this quilt top together next year, because I should have all the blocks by then, and that'll be one of my things on my list for 2015, will be to piece all of these blocks into a top, and move them one step forward in the queue of to-dos. So those are beautiful. Thank you so much, hardhatcat. And in addition to that, she sent me leftover squares that she had cut. So I have that baggie of squares so I can make more. And she also sent me this skein of yarn, which I had to chuckle because I'm pretty positive that I sent her this skein of yarn, and it just cracked me up. In a, I don't know, in a swap or something of some sort. This is a cotton, you know, if you're a knitter or a crocheter, you're probably familiar with eyelash yarn. This is a cotton eyelash yarn. I wasn't a huge fan of it crocheted, but knitted, if you're knitting in stockinette stitch, it's like a terry cloth. It's pretty cool. It's 100% cotton, Ironstone Yarns. Fiesta Yarns is a distributor for them, and Fiesta Yarns is located here in Albuquerque. And they had this ginormous parking lot sale a few years back. It was not long after I'd probably been knitting for about a year. And my sister and I went crazy. And they had I bought like, oh my God. I filled the hatchback of my car with yarn, literally, because it was $1 a skein. And this stuff normally sells for, you know, 10 times that. So, so I had a ton of this, and I used a lot of it, and I gave a lot of it away. I'm pretty sure I sent some to OpenGen, and my sister had a bunch of it. But the funny thing is, I was just wishing that I hadn't either used it up or given away. I'd finally given away a lot of it. And I was wishing the other day that I hadn't given this away, all of it, because I was just thinking how useful it would be to make little rounds for like washable and reusable makeup removers and face, you know, little face, you know, like the little circles, the little cotton circles that you buy that are disposable. I thought, you know, this yarn would be perfect to make those circles out of. You could just make little crochet circles. Or little knitted squares, and, you know, use them, toss them in the laundry, and wash them every week. And so thank you, Kat, because I was just wishing I had some more of this, but I wasn't going to go, they haven't had one of those parking lot sales in forever, so I wasn't going to go way up north and look for more of this. I think it's discontinued. I don't even think they make it anymore, so thank you for that, because I was wanting some of this for a project, so yay. It's come full circle. So finally, oh, and then she also knitted me, look at this, she designed her own little TARDIS. Is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? That was also in the package. My own little police box. Yay! I have my own TARDIS. I can't tell you how tickled I was to see that in the box. That was awesome. So thank you so much, Kat. And I have to say, I realized, you know, this is that giant skein of yarn, the one I'm wearing, that I showed you last week. And I used about a full skein and a little part of another skein to do this. I would need probably the rest of that second skein to finish the sleeves if I do finish the sleeves. Like I said, I haven't decided. I really don't like the neck, so I probably will frog this. What I'm thinking I'll actually do is close up the armholes, and I may just sew up the armholes and maybe put like a little drawstring. Well, not a drawstring because the cat would eat a drawstring, but sew up the bottom and let the cat use the neck hole as the opening, and then I wouldn't even have to frog it. So I am thinking I can just undo the bottom a little bit and then like Kitchener stitch it together or something, or just sew it together with some of the yarn and just make it closed. And I think the kitty would have a blast in this. So I think the kitty's going to inherit this sweater. And that's okay, because I'm going to make another one soon. Anyway, I realized I was going to run out of yarn when I was working on this sweater. So Saturday, I braved Joann's the day after Black Friday. And actually it wasn't that bad. Because I didn't go like early in the morning. I went in the afternoon. Was it Saturday? No, it was Sunday. It was Sunday afternoon. And they had their fleece remnants. These sweaters were, these balls of yarn were no longer on sale. And they didn't have any out on the shelf. And so I asked somebody, and they went and found some in the back. So I went ahead and bought 2 skeins because I was able to use coupons on them and get them for half price. But, so it was even cheaper than when they were on sale. But they also had their remnants 75% off instead of 50% off, which is what they usually are. And I found this adorable fleece remnant in the remnant bin. Is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? And it's a little over a yard. So I can get a nice sized blanket out of that for Linus. And this one as well. Is a little under a yard. I think this was like 0.8 yards, so this will be a little bit smaller one. But in fact, I was actually thinking I could use this one because of the length, because look how long it is. I could split this in half and use it, make it into a couple of scarves. I thought that might be kind of fun, because it looks like scarf fabric, doesn't it? And I thought I might just, you know, cut it since it's not going to fray, or maybe just serge around the edges, and make 2 scarves out of it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, I got 2 skeins of that giant yarn, and I got these 2 fleece remnants, and I spent $13, which I was like, holy cow. So, and I did have to wait in line, but it wasn't too bad. I never in a million years would go for fabric on Thanksgiving weekend, because that would just be insane. Anyway, I guess that's it. I'm just babbling and babbling, and I need to let you go and get ready for work. So I will look forward to watching your videos this week. I finally got caught up over the long weekend watching everybody's videos. And I will see you next week. Bye! Cat, don't rub your face on the thing that's holding the camera. Come on.